I've gathered you all here to discuss a very serious subject. Usually I'm very light and flippant about these things, but there always comes a time to put away silly things, childish things, and talk about something important. And that important thing today is the MVD Rewind Collection Blu-ray release of the Bikini Car Wash Company 1 and 2. Now, I know what you're thinking. These are frivolous Cinemax After Dark films. These are frivolous films that are just exist to exploit nubile young bodies, sudsing up cars and putting bikinis on and taking bikinis off and doing all kinds of frivolous things in the 90s. And you would be right. These are films that I first saw on cable. I first caught these late at night on Cinemax After Dark for the exact reason anybody would watch Cinemax After Dark, which is female nudity. So that's why I watched them then, and I watched them again now. And do they hold up? I'm going to make you wait to find that out. Let me give you the basic specs. So it's a 2-disc set. And I'll show you the packaging in a little bit too. The MVD Rewind Collection always seeks to re-release old things looking like they were packaged as a videotape rental or modeled after the old videotape style rental boxes. And they're often things that were video store classics or cable classics. So Bikini Car Wash Company, disc 1, it's 2 discs. Each one gets its own disc. Now, these films were shot on film. They were transferred and done, post-production was done on video. There are no film elements to be found for these films. So these are standard def TV masters or videotape masters that have been, you can watch them either in the standard def version or up-resed to HD to look slightly sharper, but they're 4:3. They're nothing fancy. The Bikini Car Wash Company from 1992 is disc 1. It is 81 minutes. It is directed by Ed Hansen, who directed 2 classics of the Cinemax After Dark genre, Taking It Off and Taking It All Off. And it features Joe Dusick, Kristi, Ducati, Patrick Wright, who you would know if you're a fan of 70s exploitation films. He was in a million things. Most notably, he was Mr. Peterbilt in Russ Meyer's Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens, and a extended cameo, bit part by director Jim Wynorski, who shows up on the extras of this. So it's an HD upscale from a video master of the original SD version. They're both presented in 4:3, 2.0 stereo, optional English subtitles. Basic story, like there is one. Basic story: college guy takes over his uncle, portrayed by Patrick Wright, takes over his uncle's car wash because his uncle's allergies are flaring up. He partners with a bikini babe he meets at the beach, Kristi Ducati, who is taking a marketing class, and she figures out she can market and make a lot of money for this car wash that's struggling if she has all of her bikini babe friends soaping up and sudsing up the cars and popping their tops as often as possible. That's pretty much all there is to it. So it's a very goofy comedy with a lot of rock and roll montages of girls in string bikinis, guys dropping their jaws or going, ooh, and that early 90s orange filter across the sky. It is just, and there is some silly softcore rutting, which is like extremely softcore. Like, it looks like they're going through the motions of intercourse, but one or more of them are wearing pants. So the extras on this include a commentary with Jim Wynorski and Serial at Midnight's Heath Holland. Heath is great. Jim always has a lot of stories. There are trailers for other MVD releases. They're of a similar vein: Joystick, Ski Patrol, The Last American Virgin, and Dirty Laundry. Some of those I can recommend. And then disc 2 is the Bikini Car Wash Company 2 from 1993. So the next year, the Bikini Car Wash Company was such a hit, we're like, we need more Bikini Car Wash action. It's directed by a different person, Gary Dean Orona, with, again, Kristi Ducati comes back, and Sara, Suzanne Brown, and probably not too many people's names you would know. Again, it's an HD upscale from the original video master in SD. This has Kristi Ducati coming back from the first film. She somehow has ownership of the car wash now. She sells it to a conglomerate who immediately, he would twirl a mustache if he had one. He immediately says, we're going to tear it down. And she's like, oh no, I sold it to you so that it would stay a car wash. We need to raise money to buy it back. He quotes her a ridiculous price and a ridiculous timetable. And for whatever reason, she decides to go and lease time on a local religious public access TV station or local religious TV station, and turns it into this crazy, no-holds-barred, saucy channel to raise money. So it's almost vaguely like UHF in a way, except UHF was funny. And so this movie has more girls, more toplessness, more softcore, more implants, more montages. It's silly, inoffensive fun with a lot of songs that sound like Bon Jovi. I'm not a Bon Jovi fan, but the songs in this weren't bad. They sound like songs you would have heard around this time, sort of like hair metal kind of songs. There's not really much of a car wash in this film. That's the one thing I got to say. If you're like, the second film, there's going to be even more women at a car wash. Not really. There's only like a little bit at the end of this film. It really takes place entirely in a TV station, which is weird because it kind of lies in that you're getting a Bikini Car Wash Company film. Bikini TV, maybe they could have called it that. The HD upscale looks good. It looks sharp for both versions. It looks better than the SD versions, but it has occasional jitter, like when things move horizontally. So it's not ideal, but it's as good as it's going to get because they did try to find the regular version. They're interesting as artifacts of the era. They're sort of like the last gasp of softcore cinema that was a big thing in the 60s through the 80s. Oftentimes they play like you're watching a Playboy Girls of Rock and Roll video, but with like a little bit more plot. They're very silly, very goofy comedies with a tremendous amount of nudity. So probably nostalgic for people who remember seeing it back then. So let me show you what you get in the package. You get, that's not it, you get really, a fun cover that has that replica of the media home entertainment style and fake video store stickers and all that. It's this film is not recommended for children. It's not a double feature, it's a bubble feature. So front and back, slip off the slip case to reveal more or less the same thing minus the sticker aesthetic there. And then crack it open and you get, oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. They are both on one disc. They're just separate menu screens for each film. And the disc looks like you're looking down at the face label on a VHS tape. And then it does come with, for you collectors and you Bikini Car Wash Company enthusiasts, a little mini poster of the Bikini Car Wash Company, the cover that was created for this version. So your mileage may vary. This is really probably more for people who want to see a lot of 90s women surgically enhanced naked a lot, or want to laugh at, if you get off, well, okay, sure. If you get off on 90s Cinemax flicks, in any sense of the phrase that I just used, this is there for you. You might find it funny because it's cheesy and very much of its era. To me, it's interesting, as I said, as this last gasp, this sort of last version of the softcore movies that got by for so long. But the internet came along, and anybody who wanted to see anything naked, click, very easily done. Don't need a plot. Same with adult film and porn. It became the thing that kind of really squeezed out the nudie cutie and the softcore stuff when you could just get the extreme stuff. Not extreme, but you could get the real deal so much easier without having to go to the video store or, watch it on cable. Anyway, MVD Rewind Collection, the Bikini Car Wash Company 1 and 2. I'm glad we had this talk.